Hello, welcome to the podcast. Thank you very much for all the messages. As always, very nice. Keep them coming. Please keep rating, subscribing, all that kind of crack, sharing. I'm just back from the Fringe. I went up for a couple of days to the Edinburgh Fringe. Really, I went up because I got a free ticket to the TV festival, which is where like the TV industry basically sets out its stall for the next year, and talks about what's going to happen. It was interesting, I got to see Tina Fey and Graham Norton. That was pretty cool. And they do like little panels of what they're at. Channel 4 coming back with smut in a big way. Channel 4 really rolling back the years to the 90s Eurotrash style TV shows. I was half expecting Antoine Ducamp and Jean-Paul Gaultier to pop up with some woman with giant fake boobs. They had the Bonnie Blue thing this year, which I've talked about ad nauseum, so I won't again. But they also had a thing which I hadn't heard of called Open House, and they played a trailer for this thing, and like it was so grim. So I think from the trailer and doing no more research than that, I think it's like a swingers house or something, and everyone there's in open relationships or whatever. But in the trailer, like the couple that it focused on was this guy and his missus, and basically the guy the guy goes off and is having a threesome, and it's all there. Everything's there. Everything's there for you to see. All the terrible decisions are right there for you, and it cuts in between him humping the life out of these two girls to his missus, who just very sadly walks out of this like swingers party and is like, yeah, I just didn't feel it at all. And then she goes up she goes up to their room and is like like forlornly looking out the window while sad music plays, and she's just like, staring into the middle distance, and then the camera like goes down to whatever their fuck hut is. And the guy's just like, I'm having the best time ever. Like, what has happened that you will be like, yeah, I'd love to be on that TV show. That's the one for me. No, don't worry, you don't have to pay me at all. It's like, it's a reality thing. I don't think they get paid. And it's not like The Only Way is Essex, where you're like, hey, now she's, advertising fake tan. Or fucking washing up to clean up the sheets. Oh my God. It was so grim. It was really grim. Those things, just watching his missus look sad just made me so sad. I was like, just break up with him. What the fuck is wrong with these people? And he had long hair, which is gross. He looked like he was in his 40s, maybe. You can't have long hair in your 40s. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure he had it in a ponytail, which is like, ugh. Like, no, come on. Oh, he's got tribal tattoos. 100% that guy has taken a Pilates class. 100%, because yoga's not enough. He needed to go one step further than everyone else. He hugs trees and he wears tie-dye tracksuit bottoms and he smells like shit all the time. But gurus, man, some people like them. That was funny anyway. The other thing that was funny about the Fringe, I didn't really get a chance to see much. I seen Roger O'Sullivan, who I've talked about on here, and Roger fucking smashed it. It was class. His show was brilliant. But also, Roger got nominated for the Best Newcomer Award, and which is like crazy because he had no marketing, managers, agents. He didn't even have a venue until a few weeks before. So God, I was so happy for him. It was class, just great. And so once that, his show was cool. And I seen Vittorio's big show. I was there for that, which was brilliant. Of course it was. He's a Cayley band, and I mean he's touring everywhere. Just go and see it. Just go and see it. It was funny because I think probably a lot of people would have expected Vittorio to get nominated for the best show. Like he's certainly selling the most tickets, and I mean the show's class. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's not getting nominated. Like, there's politics in it, you know? And it's just easier for a lot of people to stay away from that if you're on a award panel. Maybe that's unfair, I don't know. But I looked down the list and was like, and this is not said, the people who got the award, so best show was won by Sam Nicoresti, and Sam's a great comedian and was directed by a friend of mine, David Hardcastle, who's class. And I was really happy for them. And I didn't see the best newcomer show, but I heard she was amazing. So there's no like, he should have won. But none of the shows that were nominated for anything, none of them had any politics in it. And I think that says something. Anyway, but aside from that, my favorite part of the Fringe was seeing all the comedians on Ozempic. Oh my God, people's posters, man, from last year to this year. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I feel like I felt bad for like the Edinburgh restaurants because I'm sure their money was down this year just from the guys who used to get pies all the time. Aren't eating anything now. Just looking gaunt, haunting the city. Just floating around, no energy, haunting the city, with sunken eyes. Good luck to them. Good luck to them. What else has happened? Jenna and I got an allotment because we're 1,000,000 years old. That's pretty cool. You know, this is the thing about London. I do love it here, but I just really miss having a garden. Like, you know, we live in a flat. There's a communal area, but it's basically a picnic spot for homeless people and drug addicts. You know, and whatever. Life's hard enough for them. So, but Jen has been on the like the waiting list to get an allotment for over a year now, and we got one. So we went on Sunday. It's like 20 minutes from the house, and it's so big. It's massive, like, and it's only a half plot stuck. But we got there, and it's like the person who had it before. There must be a certain amount of time where it's, if it goes beyond upkeep, then they just give it to someone else. So it's quite overgrown, but he has like grapevines growing. Like honestly, I didn't know that you could do that here. I didn't think like grapes are just growing, hanging off the bushes. No greenhouse, nothing. And good for you, a pear tree, and we had a pear off it. It was really nice. There's figs there. So we got stuck into that yesterday. We went up then for a few hours. I immediately injured myself. Like, I stood on a branch that had, it must be some sort of it was definitely from East London because it had barbs like knives. It was like, I stood on a barb and went through my shoe into my foot and like right to the bone and the ball of my foot. So that has knocked my enthusiasm for football in the head tonight. But really cool. If anyone has any tips on growing or doing anything, let me know because we have no idea what we're doing. Like I was like, there's a lot of grunt work to do, which is great. Like getting rid of a load of shit there that had accumulated, and we did all that. But once that's over, then I'm really in trouble as to what I'm going to do. I'm just going to have to start cutting everything down. That's the only thing I know how to do. I'll just be chopping everything down. Met some of the neighbours who are all very nice. I think if you retire, that's like that's the dream scenario. Because it's like 50 quid a year, which is not, when you think of the money that you spend on anything, especially here, 50 quid a year, and it just goes to the upkeep of it, is nothing. There's sirens going past now, maybe you can't hear them, but presumably that's something to do with our garden. And so the plan is, we're hoping that we will have it in shape enough to have a barbecue next year. That's like the dream scenario. Get all cut back. There's a shed and all there, although it needs a new roof, I think. But we'll do that, and then if we have succeeded, barbecue in the allotment next year. And if I can't get a Fringe show out of that, no, not really. I think I would have to kill myself. If that was at the 40-minute mark, the sad bit of a solo show, it's that all my grapevines have died. Oh no, the wine. But what was funny was, so I did that yesterday. So yesterday we did that, and I went straight from there to Carnival in Notting Hill. It was Notting Hill Carnival over the weekend. Oh, what a party! Oh, it's so much crack. So much crack. It's 3 million people. And it's so funny because obviously if you look at the news, all you see is, crazy. Like, it looks like something out of a fucking 80s movie where people are getting hatcheted in the street. And that is just complete nonsense. It's so much fun. The music's amazing. There's food everywhere. Like, food stalls are out. It's so funny as well because, like, there was a Nando's nearby, and the Nando's was full of white people. I'm like, man, there's jerk chicken stalls all up the streets here for about 2 miles, and you're going to Nando's. Like, come on, what are you doing? Stop being such a stereotype. But some of the costumes were amazing too. They were it's like Rio, they do the Rio Carnival, big huge feathers and everything on their parade. The music's pumping, everyone looks stunning. They're all great. There's a lot of substances going around. It smelled fantastic. There was a lot of people growing stuff of their own, I would say, in their allotments. I wonder, can you grow weed in the allotment? Obviously I would never do that, but I wonder if you can. Sari's getting involved. So that was really fun. People had an eye in their head. I was hobbling around on my allotment foot. But it was so funny too, because when I was coming back then, quite a lot of the people were coming back to the tube. And so all those, like, the women in the costumes, and they're like, it's almost like the Borat mankini is like the height of it, but it's like a cheese wire G-string thong up, just covering their nipples, and but on the way back, obviously they'd put a shift in because you were walking, they'd obviously got chub rub, and so they were just having to walk. They walked like they just got off a horse. Oh, it was funny. It was hilarious. But I couldn't laugh. I couldn't laugh until I got home, which is a problem. And oh my god, it was so much fun. And God, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, the Robbie McShane episode. People really loved that. People love Robbie, and rightly so. And at the same time, I put that out. Those other guys. The guys I was talking about at the Tommy Robinson podcast, they had Benjamin Netanyahu on last week. Like, fuck me. How much, at what point are you like, is this bad? This guy's wanted for war crimes. There's a genocide happening right now. He's starving children to death, bombing hospitals every other day. No, let's get him on. I want to hear his side. And it was obviously a very rigorous interview, as you can imagine, as they all are. And by that I mean it was a complete fucking nonsense. Yeah, I don't get that platform. Like, it is interesting at the minute of, like, what do you do? Well, you be a proper journalist if that's what you're going. The reason he's on that show is because obviously they're not going to ask him anything difficult, and a journalist would have said, "What the fuck are you talking about?" At various times, you know. It's so grim here with that stuff. I don't want to get into it, but like, you see it even all the Labour people falling over themselves now to be like, "Oh yeah, no, it has to stop." Like, where the fuck were you? Like, where were you? You know, a year plus ago, you absolute hypocritical fucks. Oh, Jeremy Corbyn's so dangerous. Who said that was the other thing? Rory Stewart again, the fucking bada book, comes on, haunts your social media. Came on, does an impassioned speech on his, his faux centrist podcast about why Jeremy Corbyn would be a truly terrible prime minister. I was like, here, did you not? What did you do? You weren't even prime minister, and you managed to fuck the country for everyone. Like, what? What is it that you're afraid of? Like, oh my God, what? That he's not going to give disabled people? That maybe he'll give them money back? Oh no, we won't want that. Oh, it can be grim here. You have to keep going. Anyway, whatever. Did some gigs at the weekend. Were very cool at Angel. I had a sore tummy. Oh, I had a sore tummy. I think from the Fringe, I had like a touch of Fringe flu. And did that, and we had Kate Barnes hosting Kate's fucking Force of Nature. A Force of Nature. Oh my God. I was meant to host one, and I asked her, could she do it? Because I was like, I don't think I can do that long on stage without like fucking losing my mind, being sick or shitting myself. And I watched her, and she was just great on it. What was very funny was there was like a guy on, Rich Spalding, who's a very funny guy as well. And when he was on, there was a guy stood at the back who was the spitting image of James Acaster, to be fair to him. And Rich fucking lost his mind and was like, what the fuck's he doing here? It's very strange when you're on stage and you recognize someone, is a very strange place to be. Like, I remember years ago, Matthew McAloon, who I've talked about before, my best friend, was doing a gig in I think at Angel actually as well, maybe, but just like a new act night, and the host, who's a terrible host, who I won't name, but he's a fucking horrible host, loves himself. Anyway, he was doing this stuff that, like, what do you do? Whatever's a plumber, what do you do? Blah blah blah. And he says, this guy, what do you do? And the guy goes, I'm a drummer. And he goes, you're a drummer, right? Oh, like, you must not be very good if you're like here on a Friday night, whatever, some shit, right? I know it doesn't interrogate any more than that. And then Matthew goes on Lux, and it was Roger Taylor from Queen. And like, he can't point that out then. Just let him get on with his night. I had it once with Talisa from End Ups. Was that a gig I did? And I was like, the other guys who were on that night were so weird and creepy. I was like, I can't reference this. They'll just make it weird for her. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other famous ones that I've seen. Vittorio had Bob Odenkirk in to his show, which is mad. He was up at the Fringe seeing a lot of stuff, which is very cool. And no, that's about it. All Saints, I remember doing it open mic. Like, that's how bad I was when I did it, and two of All Saints were there. Oh God, 15-year-old me would have been doing fucking backflips, literally. But 30-year-old me would have snapped my neck if I tried. A backflip. Oh my God, I said hello to one. She acted like I didn't exist, and I was like, fair enough. That's what you should do. Fair enough. Good for you. Aye, and then this week, I don't know what, I'm going to a gig tonight with Harriet Kemsley from Last One Laughing. Has got a show in Angel, and there's a couple of us doing bits and pieces before. That'll be good. I've got new stuff. This podcast, I started it because I was really lazy, and I think I said it, and like creatively felt like I was at a dead end. Couldn't get anything going, couldn't get any ideas happening, and I was like, the only way that I'm going to do this, because sitting down and just writing on a blank page doesn't work, is if I just try and talk, and hopefully something funny comes out of it. And it has. Like, the last few weeks I've written more new comedy than I have in months before that, and so tonight's a good chance. I'm going to film some of that get it up online. That's the next thing. Become an online sensation. No, but the plan is to have a new show for Fringe next year. That is the initial plan. Right now as well, I think the general theme is gonna be about like unlearning all of the sort of stuff that you learn growing up where it's hard, of like learn how to fight, learn how to handle yourself, and like then like basically you have to unlearn that to exist in the world the way it's been for the last like 20 years, like in a good way, and become more tolerant of people, even fucking idiots who walk around. Like right now, there's people screaming outside, and I want to go downstairs and take them. And I think there's 3 of them, and I want to grab 2 of their heads and smash it together like Batman in the 60s, and then put the other one in the testicles. But you're not allowed to do that anymore because of woke. But I think I'll probably. But the thing is, like, so you unlearn all that stuff. Like whenever I got to London, it was so funny because, like, Northern Ireland's like it's not like a crazy hard place, but if a fight broke out, it was a fight, right? So the first job I had, was I worked for a pub. I only left them this year. Worked for the same company for a long time, but my first job was just minding the door, not even as like a doorman, but there was a door you had to sort of stop people going up to a roof or whatever. And this guy, and this first night I was there, this guy was such an ignorant prick. Oh my god. Big time fucking I'm rich, you know who I am. I like literally I was like I would know him in the street now. Like I remember every detail of what he looked like. And he like squared up to me and I was still probably not that long. I don't know, I just finished training MMA probably because I only stopped that when I moved here. So I had been training MMA for a long time. I was still kind of fairly wired. And this guy, and I did like, it was classic, like in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where Uncle Phil grabs DJ Jazzy Jeff, who I think is a sex offender. Scandal noted, but at that point was just a funny cousin in the show. And he grabs him by the scruff of the neck and by the trousers and fucks him out the door. And that's what I did to this guy. And it was like a clear path from where I had at the side of like a DJ booth, and you could get 2 or 3 running steps basically. And I just threw him down the steps. There was about 5 steps down onto the thing. He was grand, like, and but I remember the boss running up, being like, "Wait, you can't do that. You don't do that here." But that is what you do in Ireland. Like, I was like, wow, And so I never was allowed on the door again. But the point being, like, that was the difference when I came here. I remember seeing it as well, like, on a outside. There used to be a pub called Dirty Dicks. It might still be, but it's where loads of open mics were, and on Liverpool Street here. And I remember outside, this English guy, or no, it was two English guys were squaring up, but like were being held back, but not really. You know, where they're like, yeah, fucking let me at him, yeah, off. Oh yeah, you fuck, yeah, blah, blah. And I just burst out laughing, as I was like, there's just no way that, like, that's just not. Someone would have been punched by now if that was home, like immediately. Anyway, but that's probably for the best. But I don't know, Like, it feels like we're back where people should be defending yourself in a robust manner. But anyway, I think at the minute that's what the show is going to be about, is like trying to unlearn that, and then thinking like, maybe I shouldn't have unlearned that. Maybe some people do need a slap. Like I do. I absolutely think that. Like, people who say that they're pacifists, I'm like, I mean, show me what you're like when someone fucking punches your mate in front of you, or like is about to attack you. If you can be a pacifist, then fair play to you, like, but I'm like, absolutely headbutt that person. That's my view, and I have a giant head. Oh, like that's all you really need to know is like that God wants you to do that sometimes. Because I am built to headbutt people. I've not headbutted anyone in years. The last time I headbutted someone, it's like God. It must be 15 plus years ago. We're at the Limelight, and I was there. Fuck up, Siri. Why the fuck does this thing not just shut the I don't know how. It never works when I want it to, and then when I'm just fucking chatting, it starts answering back. Fuck's sake. I hate technology. I feel like, have you seen that TikTok of Hosier doing, he's doing like a Q&A on TikTok or whatever, and whatever he's done, every time he looks at the camera, it puts a pair of digitized shades on him. And he's just getting more and more annoyed. That's me when I have to use any technology at all. Fuck's sake. Yeah, Limelight. No, so we're at the Limelight. I was there with a couple of friends, and one of my friends was being like, he'd be, at that point he would have been quite a harmless but annoying drunk. And he was annoying this guy, and I could see and I was sober at the time, and I could see the guy like get annoyed, and I grabbed the guy. I was like, man, look, I'm really sorry, like he's just a bit pissed, we'll move on. And the guy, I mean, he didn't make any attempt to defuse that. He turned around and he was about to hit my mate, so I headbutted him, and he just disappeared. He disappeared into dust in the air. I remember I was wearing a white shirt, and that was the end of that shirt. I just had to get the lads and go home. Anyway, the good old days. You can't do that anymore. I mean, it's not illegal to do that, was it? Maybe. He was fine. He was fine as well. Everyone's always fine. and I can't be sued because this is all just joke stories. I remember in Belfast when I was doing MMA at the time, I trained in a place called Cugin MMA, which is still going, run by Peter Lavery, who's one of the soundest people on planet Earth. And one of the lads, like a lot of the lads would have done the door and places and all, but one guy, I remember he sort of carried himself small. A lot of like fighters do sort of carry themselves small, you know. And this guy was at a burger van. There used to be burger vans next to City Hall in Belfast after a big night out, and a guy attacked. Like, there is just lads who will just attack people, right? And boy, did they pick the wrong guy. And man, he hit like a leg kick. If you get hit on if someone who knows how to kick you on the thigh does it properly, it's life changing. I remember the first time it happened to me, and you're like, oh, right. Oh, life's different now because I know that happened. That's out there. You didn't know it was happened before. And even, like, I had trained for years before that, but never got hit properly. And I was like, wow, you turn green. You feel sick. Like, awful, awful time. But that was the end of that guy fucking picking on randomers outside burger vans, I guarantee. The show won't be that. Like, won't all just be reminiscent about people getting beat up. But it might be some of that. Anyway, look, I'm rambling now. It's a very quick one this week. And that's good, I think, as well. Let's keep her ticking on. Enjoy your walks. People walk the dog. I know when you're doing it. When I was staying in Edinburgh, I was staying with one of Jen's friends who had a dog. She's a greyhound. And the greyhound's lovely. And that is one of the best things, is like just getting to spend time with a dog who's quiet. Not one of them yappy ones, fuck's sake. But a big quiet greyhound's the best. And anyway, so enjoy that. Enjoy the rest of your week. Give us a shout on Instagram, John M Comedy, if you have any comments or whatever you want to hear. If like a load of people have asked me about to talk about the devil worshipping thing I made on Radio 4. So I will do that. I'll do that next time. And if you go to BBC Sounds, it's on there. So, and I'll talk about that the next time. So Devil Worshippers coming up. Anyway, have a great week. See you again. Bye.